Well, 4 years of this nonsense comes to an end. Get your champagne bottles ready because Robert E. Lee waves that dirty white dish towel and surrenders. You get the point. It was supposed to explode. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I am Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is my very best friend, Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, I don't want to spoil too much of this episode already, but we are under the under this week. Robert E. Lee is going to surrender. So, champagne, the seam of the bottle. We're going to try this again. I didn't get it in the intro, but we'll try it again. Fuck it. We're not okay, savoring it. It's probably.
You say woo! You said the under hit. So the war's over. Traitor President Davis no longer. I guess we'll get to that. We'll get to Traitor President Davis saying, "Yes, I wash my hands of the Confederacy, and please go ahead, arrest me, take me to the gallows. I deserve to have my head chopped off as a treasonous member of the Confederacy." The highest-ranking treasonous member of the Confederacy, and at the end of this week, caps off with a hanging, beheading. I don't know. What are we doing these days to traitors? This is fantastic news. No, this is fake. This is not a real end of the.
Dude, Robert E. Lee surrenders, Johnny. If that's not the end of the war, I don't know what it. But let's get.
It's when Traitor President Davis says the Confederate.
Maybe that's why the bottle wouldn't. Maybe that's why the bottle wouldn't savor.
It's not when a Granny Lee surrenders. What? It's big. It's big. I guess. I'm sorry. What you did was you got me overexcited for something. This is huge. This is big. This is exciting. This is good news.
This is a special episode, Johnny. Buckle up. It's going to be a long one. I've got this. Like normally, I have a half page of notes for a week. This is like Tim over there is holding 3 whole ass cue cards. So
holy shit.
We're gonna and then be prepared because I'm really thirsty.
All right. Well, okay. Buckle up. Well, no, it's champagne. Quenching thirst. Well, and especially champagne that's actually just sparkling grape juice, probably. Yeah. Because
it says it's from California. It says California champagne on the label.
Not too many imports coming in these days, right? No. Like how much champagne is getting imported?
You gotta go from where you're right. You just gotta get what you can get. All right. In any case, Johnny, this week
American made.
I did miss a note from last week. There was a skirmish last week where Grant's troops do engage some of Lee's troops that are running for their dear life after we took over Richmond.
That seems important.
We actually captured 8,000 Confederate prisoners. So I have to mention that for this to actually make more sense. Okay, for this to make more sense.
We have 8,000 mouths to feed now?
Yeah, we have 8,000 mouths to feed. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. More.
I think
it's a lot.
I think after we win and we dissolve the Confederacy, I think we got to just let them go.
Let them fend for themselves.
Like I kind of don't want to feed them all. You know?
Well, no, just states' rights. Like here, you wanted states' rights.
Yeah, you guys go do whatever the hell you're gonna do.
Deal what you're gonna do.
Don't get any of our money.
No,
nothing. You
deal with it yourself.
But join the modern age and get rid of your slaves.
Yeah,
or else we will come down there and go Sherman's army on the entire goddamn South.
Again.
All of it.
All of it. Yeah. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, every major thoroughfare.
Okay, Johnny. This week's going to open up on the 7th with Grant sending a letter to Lee stating, and I quote here, "The result of the last week must be convincing you of the hopelessness of further resistance on the part of the Army of Northern Virginia. I feel that it is so and regard it as my duty I regard it as my duty to shift from myself the responsibility of any further effusion of blood by asking you to please surrender." I might need glasses, Johnny. It is getting.
Do you want to try that again? Do you want to give that another go?
No, it's fine. Well, okay, fine. He says, the result of this last week must convince you of the hopelessness of further resistance on the part of the Army of Northern Virginia. I feel it is so, and I regard it as my duty to shift from myself the responsibility of any further effusion of blood by asking you to please surrender.
This is one of two things. This is either the coldest thing he's ever said, or this is him showing some sympathy.
I think it's sympathy.
Like, he's showing a little bit of mercy, but at the same time, he's basically saying, like, if you don't surrender,
yeah, we're going to kill you.
I am not responsible for any of the bloodshed.
Any more of the bloodshed, yeah.
And there will be bloodshed.
There will be bloodshed. Yeah, it might be that.
That's a little bit. I think there's a little bit of that at the back end of it. You know, a lot of it is like, please. I mean, come on. You see, this is over.
It's over.
Obviously,
you just lost 8,000.
But at the end of it, it is. I wash my hands of the wrongdoing I'm about to wrongdo if you don't surrender.
Johnny, there is a small engagement at Farmville near the Confederates where they do repulse an attack by Federals. But again, this isn't like we're not going full in attacking. We're like trying to minimize casualties. So we're like poking and prodding.
Just kind of poking them a little bit.
This does enable Longstreet
marching up, taking some shots, and backing up. Is that what?
Yeah, pretty much. So Longstreet will cross the Appomattox River. He is going to try to burn the bridges on his way out, but he doesn't. It fails. He doesn't get them all. At High Knock Bridge, the Union is actually going to be able to cross the Appomattox as well. Unions now, they're there. It's fine.
Did they just not have time to burn the bridges, or was
I think it's both. I think it's a matter of time.
They were coming too close.
Too many
like,
bridges.
If we stay here, now we're gonna have them overrunning us, and
it's a combination of all of the above.
And I mean, it's been a wet spring, right? Like it's
it's been very, very rainy, which is what slowed down a lot of Sherman's movements into North Carolina. Yeah.
Bridges aren't going to just light up like they would in June or July or August.
How much champagne is too much champagne to drink?
1.5 glasses.
Oh.
For me.
Okay. Because this is apparently half that bottle.
Oh, shit. Well, this will be fun.
You're going
to have a tummy ache. And that's okay.
It's fine.
But it's celebratory.
It's
a celebratory tummy ache for Lieutenant Tommy. That's right.
There's going to be another slight engagement north of Appomattox, which again doesn't see any Union progress, but it does delay Lee's retreat by precious hours that he does not have. This enables Sheridan and his infantry to get behind Lee, squeezing him from the east and the west. Oh, and Tennessee is going to ratify the 13th Amendment on the 7th. On the 8th, Johnny, Lee is going to respond to Grant's letter.
Tennessee wants legalized slavery now. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just people are really, really jumping on board this legal slavery thing. They really
legal slavery part, they like that part.
That's awesome. Good for them.
On the
opportunists.
Well, it's Tennessee, so it's not even the North; it's the Confederacy, which Lincoln needs.
Ish.
It is ish. Lincoln needs all the northern states to ratify it, plus 2 southern states. He's going to get it. He's got Tennessee already. He's going to get Louisiana. Arkansas is on board, from what all the reports are saying.
Western Virginia, maybe.
That's a union. That's a union state. But that's a union.
Oh,
state,
okay.
Right?
That's right, because they did the thing.
Yep. And we're considering the border states in those like southern. Basically, he needs all the free states to vote yes, and then he needs 2 slave states to vote yes, and then he's got his 2/3 majority. Sidebar. On the 8th, Lee's going to respond to Grant's letter.
One, but okay.
Yeah, Lee's going to respond to Grant's letter. He's going to say, and I quote, "I do not entertain the opinion you express of the hopelessness of further resistance on part of the Army of Northern Virginia. I reciprocate your desire to avoid useless effusion of blood, and therefore, before considering your proposition, ask the terms you will offer on condition of surrender." Keep that in mind, what I just said. This is what he sends in the letter. He goes, "I want to know your terms on conditions of surrender if I were to..."
Yeah, he's basically saying, no, listen, it's not quite there yet, but maybe we can come to a deal because we're tired of bloodshed, right?
Yeah,
as a general, you have to at least hear him out.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, which they've been, last month we had the Hampton Roads conference where they were talking about what would happen at the
They had
end
that
and all
fake
stuff,
dude go and talk to Lincoln and just bullshit a bunch of people.
Yeah, well, pretty much, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, the whole fucking... Preston Blair, we need to do a special on the idiot that is Preston Blair. But anyway.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That guy was interesting. If
he was like a guy who just had, like...
He was a main character. He's like, I'm a main character in this world here, and I'm gonna act like it.
Sure
do whatever I want to do.
Now, while Lee is approaching...
He figured it out. He figured the system out. He realized that this is all just made up.
Yeah, you could just do whatever you want. Yep. Yeah,
everything's make believe. We we people, we just made it up off the top of our heads.
Off the top of our heads. Yep.
It's pretend.
Now Lee is going to approach Appomattox Station near Appomattox Courthouse. He has Meade behind him, Sheridan to the south, and portions of the Army of the James in front of him, blocking his route to Lynchburg. He is surrounded with no real feasible escape route. And Sheridan is going to seize a sizable supply train in Appomattox Station. Grant is going to send a letter to Lee saying that his conditions for the Army of Northern Virginia surrender is that basically they're just going to be disqualified from participating in rebellion against the Union and they'll be able to go home. So you're all going to surrender. You're all going to give me your arms. And then you're going to sign these parole papers, which says that you can go home as long as you promise not to take up arms again.
Now...
I don't know how you enforce that.
This surrendering is literally just Lee's army surrendering. This is not a surrendering of the Confederacy.
This is specifically in regards to the Army of Northern Virginia, but technically speaking, Robert E. Lee is in command of all Confederate forces. So
right. Well, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Is there a differentiation here? Is he asking for?
So he's asking for
those.
He's asking for the
army is going to disband.
Yeah. But we'll clarify that here in a few minutes because later on in the week, Grant asked.
Okay.
Jump in the
gun.
All right.
Jump in the gun. Okay. We'll get there, basically. I'm jumping the gun.
After Lee gets this letter on the 8th, Lee goes, "Whoa! Who's talking about surrender? I wasn't talking about surrender. I just wanted to talk about a ceasefire. Like, why are we talking about surrendering all of a sudden? Clearly, we're strong enough to beat the Union and can continue to fight." Meanwhile, a direct quote from his last letter was, "What are the terms of surrender?"
Surrender.
I don't know, man.
Maybe I think he was drinking either when he sent the surrender one or at this point. One of the two he was drinking because he mixed up the words ceasefire and surrender.
He might have somewhat. Yep. Now, despite that,
he was probably when he sent the original message. He's like, we'll respond. I'll send him just tell me what his terms of surrender are. Ceasefire. I mean,
whatever.
He's gone.
It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Now, despite all this fact, in the morning of the 8th, his officers actually have a conference, and a bunch of them are like, "Yeah, we need to surrender's our only option. There's no escape route. We cannot make it to Johnson's army. There is no grand link up.
Yeah.
Like have you looked outside? Blue, 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 blue. Like
nowhere to go. Yeah. How many strong is he at this point? Do we know?
28,000.
Number you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
he's got 28,000 to like well over to like 120,000.
Well, okay, so that's like my county versus
because he's got like
the city of Fishers.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Lee's gonna listen to him and say, "Yeah, okay. I agree that we don't really have like the infantry and the cav are blocking our route.
Yeah.
But and there's nothing that we can do. But we gotta try."
Do you still? I feel like at this point you did.
Yeah,
you got your chance to try, right? Like they did it. They tried. They did. And they tried for way longer than they probably should have.
Way longer, yeah.
So stop. You failed. It's okay.
And that's fine.
Failure is... Think of it as a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Over an old Spanish fort, Johnny, in Mobile, Alabama, there is heavy federal bombardment of that fort on the 8th. And on the 9th, Johnny, on Palm Sunday at dawn, at the cusp of dawn, at the wee little light shining, the simmering sunlight, Lee, near Appomattox Station, with the hope of punching through Union lines, making it to Johnston, does his brilliant last final assault. Doesn't go so well for him. He does get through the first line of he gets through the first line of Union cav, and then immediately behind him there's Union infantry, and he goes,
"There's more."
Fuck!
Oh no, there's more. But wait. Yeah.
And at the same time he's doing his brilliant charge, Meade is behind him, fucking up his rear guard.
This could have been avoided,
Escape,
right?
Johnny. Escape, Johnny, is impossible. And out in front of Lee's command.
What's that? What do you got?
Out in front of the Army of Northern Virginia, a dirty
terrible
white
towel
dish towel. Terrible towel waves. Oh, please, Ulysses S. Grant, unconditional surrender, Grant. Can you please give us some conditions of surrender? This fucking war's over! It's been 4 years and we're finally done! That deserves a topper of champagne! Lieutenant Tommy's got things to do in the morning and he's gonna have a headache! It's fine.
Tommy, Lieutenant, I appreciate how poetic you delivered that message. Because much like the Dark Ages ended and the Renaissance bloomed, I think this is going to happen for America. I think this is literally we're going to have our own Renaissance. War is going to be over. People are going to we're already sick of it, right? This is a time for poets, this is a time for playwrights, this is a time for artists of all kinds to, really, really get their craft out there. And I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be cool to see.
Like return to the theater or something. Like have a.
I mean everything, anything. Yeah, poets, playwrights, authors,
musicians.
painters, musicians, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, crack out a better tune than like. Something better than that, right?
Something better. Well,
I
mean, a new styles. I mean, because God, imagine all the boys coming home with all the, they were sitting around campfires making songs up and shit. Like, let's hear them.
Their jaw harps and their harmonicas.
Writing plays, like people are writing plays during this. President Lincoln needs to make this a priority, is to bring back the arts.
Return to the arts.
He needs, absolutely. He needs
to the arts.
Be at the forefront of bringing popularity back to it. Make it like, I don't know, go support your local artist. Go see a show. Do whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, fun.
I'm excited for it.
Stop being all depressed with this war. It's like we're done.
It's basically over, and now we can start to see the beauty in the world again. So go see a play.
As the dish towel is waved, Lee writes down and states to his men, and I quote here, "It would be useless and therefore cruel to provide the further effusion of blood, and I have arranged to meet with Grant with a view of surrender."
All right, so he was very clearly very drunk for one of those letters that he sent.
Yes.
Because now he's like, gosh, you know what? We did try again. Same result. At this point, I'm just insane.
Yep.
So maybe we will try to, I don't know.
Grant responds and says, "I will." Grant responds and says, "I will meet with you, but I have no authority to discuss peace. I only have the authority to discuss your surrender and the surrender of the Army of Northern Virginia."
And now, he's saying if they surrender, though, he's going to say, "We're not taking you hostage. We're not bringing. Y'all go home."
Yeah. So
we're taking your shit and go home. You go home.
So he responds. He responds back in the letter. "My terms are what they were on the first letter that I wrote. You will be stripped of your ability to wage war on us
again." Yeah.
But
take your weapons
but you can go home.
Kick you to the curb.
Yeah, you can go home. Nobody's going to be hung. Nobody's going to be executed. Nobody's going to be thrown in a detention center or any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I know. Like, I would No.
I mean, Lee's got to go, right?
Yeah, I would say yes, but at least as of right now,
I would say. It's got to be top 10 officials of the Confederacy.
But what's in Grant's purview is Grant's saying that he can go home. Like, what happens later is what happens later. But as of right now,
little soldiers, sure, okay,
they can go home.
Let the soldiers go. Keep Keep the captain. Top brass.
Lee responds and says,
we need an example, or else these motherfuckers are going to just keep waving their damn flag for the next 160 years on the back of their freaking carriages with friggin', I don't know, smoke coming out the back, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Carriages.
Yeah, I gotcha. Anyways, Lee's going to respond back to Grant saying, yep, that sounds good. Let's do a ceasefire of hostilities during these surrender negotiations. There are dish towels everywhere, but there's a lot of confusion across the line because, obviously, the telegraphs aren't there. Not every soldier has a telegraph. Not every part of the field is aware of everything. So you got a lot of Union soldiers who are like, no, I said put your fucking hands up and drop that equipment and come over here and,
you're turning it in. We're taking it.
So there's
and they're like, what the hell? No.
There's some pop shots that happen in this ceasefire of just confusion on both sides.
You got to figure some of that also is just people that are have gone insane.
Well, yes,
and are like, I'm going to take some people out with me. I'm done. Whatever. I didn't fight for the past however long they've been
4.5 years
to not they got drafted. Because you got to figure at this point how many people survived the full war.
Not a lot. Ooh, there is actually
a percentage.
Yeah, there is a book, a journal that's going to be written by Sam Watkins.
What the? What?
Who
Did you see
signed
a soothsayer?
No. I mean, he's here. He's surrendered. We got the book.
Oh, okay.
I talked to the dude. He does survive. He's in the Iron Brigade, not the Iron Brigade. Stonewall Jackson's brigade. He's signed up day one, and he's been here the whole time. And it's him.
Holy shit!
And one other dude.
I mean, it's got to be the numbers. Got to be low.
That's it.
Because the numbers were low initial
signing
up to start with, and then you figure desertions, you figure injuries,
deaths, casualties, disease, all that. Your contracts,
or just the contract expiring and not re-upping. Yeah, I mean, because most of the people signed up for what at the beginning of the war. It's like
3 months.
3 month
it was
contract,
3 months.
6-month contract, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, we need you longer. And most of them were like,
I'm good. I already signed up. I'm good. Screw that.
Shit.
I already fought.
I'm out of here.
We're good. Bouncing.
I'm going to go to northern Indiana.
Now, by the early afternoon, Johnny, at the home of Wimler McLean at Appomattox Courthouse, Lee and 1-8 are going to meet Grant. Now, Lee is dressed to the fucking nines. He's in his best uniform. He's got his fancy saber on. He is got Traveler, his horse, dressed up really nice, and he's saying really inappropriate things.
Medals that they made up and all his pretend bars and stripes.
Yeah, he's
very North Korea circa 2010.
Yep. Yeah, he's that. And then Grant comes in with his sack coat on, dusty, straight from the. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, this is supposed to be a ceremony. Oh shit, forgot those notes.
It's a ceremony of you saying I have been bested. By
Grant,
and to show up in field garb,
field garb. Yep. Grant's with a staff, all of that. Grant says the terms still apply. The Army will surrender and immediately be paroled on the condition that they are ineligible to take up arms against the Union. Arms, ammunition, and supplies will be turned over to the U.S. government as captured property. The exclusion of officers' personal sidearms and horses are granted to them. You purchase your pistol, you can keep your pistol.
They bought it?
It's officers, man. It's like...
It's the people who should be hanged.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say that makes sense, but officers get different treatment.
Keep your horses. If you keep your horse. That's fine. Horses are expensive and they're animals. Bonded, whatever. Keep your horse. Maybe you could get it hanged with you if you want.
There are rumors that
you could ride it to. You could ride the horse to your hanging.
Yeah.
How about that?
There are rumors that Lee tried to give his sword over to Grant, or Grant took his, but Lee kept his fancy ass fucking sword. It's fine.
That would have been a dope trophy, though.
There was also.
I would have taken it. I would have put that in the terms, actually.
Right?
Also, and that sword. Give me that.
That sword. I want that sword.
Want
That's a dope sword. Yeah. I'm gonna chop some wood with that sword or something. Yeah. during this negotiations, it was brought to light of Grant, like, hey, the artillery and the cav, those horses, they brought those guys from home. They're going to need those horses in civilian life. Can they please have their horses?
Yeah, I think.
And so that was right? that was granted to them as well. Yeah, you can keep your
keep your horses. That's fine. Yeah, I get that. That's all right.
Because everything else, like
another
weapons,
burden and
cannons,
responsibility, like
weapons, cannons, all that stuff. That all goes to the Union. To be fair though, like the officers' personal sidearms, like a lot of the Confederates are riding around with shit like this, Johnny. Like this is the stuff I got. I got captured.
Oh, you have one.
Captured from the
you got one of them.
I got a Spiller and Burr, and I got a Griswold and Gunnison. And these are Confederate-produced handguns, and they're both brass framed. And they're both
brass
really
is
not as strong as iron.
I'm not a big metallurgy guy, but it's
not
soft.
Great. Yeah, you don't want to make guns out of that. But this
soft, right? It's
These are not high.
They make sculptures out of brass, right? Or molding or something like.
These aren't great.
So, how many times would you like to fire that? A lot, or? But to be fair, again, sidearms are
nobody's using a pistol in war. Nobody's using pistol.
You're not doing that. It's not. It's mostly decorative and last-ditch effort, whatever. It's like, I don't know. In the future, Call of Duty, you get shot and then you're on the ground. You can have a pistol that you can shoot. That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
it's that. Now, after all the negotiations
more realistically, you take a bullet to the leg and you're sitting there bleeding out, and you don't want to continue to bleed out. You can solve that problem.
Yeah. Now, after everything's all done, Sade on the dotted line, yep, we're surrendering. Lee goes outside to his army and he says, and I quote, "I have done for you all that was in my power to do. You have done all of your duty. Leave the result to God. Go to your homes and resume your occupations. Obey the laws and become good citizens as you were soldiers." Maybe not to the soldiers that, did war crimes.
Yeah, they mostly didn't listen.
The ones that didn't do war crimes.
As it turns out, the entirety of the South mostly didn't listen to those instructions.
Yeah. Well, the North wasn't. We had our own war crimes too.
Oh, God! What the? I mean, yes, of course.
It's fine.
It happened. Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
Get out of here with that. No, inexcusable. Not okay.
Grant,
hang them too.
Hang them too. Grant is going to hand out rations to the Confederates that are very much in need of said rations before they go home. And without that, although not officially over,
that's nice of him. That's a good guy.
Yeah, that's a good guy right there. Yeah, the war is not officially over, but the war is fucking over. In the middle of
the war, when the news it's over, but it hasn't ended.
Yeah, we have to mop it up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. There's no chance.
Yeah.
Beyond all chance of any.
Your baseball team is up 19 in the 7th inning or whatever, and
this is more like up 19th at the top, up 19 at the top of the 9th. Like that's where we're at.
I don't know how many innings are there in baseball in this day and age. I don't even know. We made up the game 2 years ago. So
yeah, I don't even know. Johnny,
in modern terms, it is your football team is up 56 points in the 4th with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Your Ohio State playing, I don't know.
Hanover College.
Yeah, Boston College and whatever. It's fine.
As the word spreads, celebrations are going on all across the country. Some jackass up in Chicago
How does
thinks
the word spread?
Idea.
Is it newspapers?
Telegraphs. It's telegraphs. It's it's all of it. Actually, Grant
the telegraphs go out to folks that then write newspapers that then print it. It's a lot of town criers and here, and all that stuff going on.
By that night,
city streets, New York City's got to be bustling.
Yeah, everything's bustling. Grant actually almost forgets to
paper boys, pop.
everything's said and done. Grant, at this point, like up through the whole negotiations, signing on the dotted lines, all that, he hasn't even let Lincoln know what the fuck's going on. He almost forgets, and he's like sitting down, having his whiskey, smoking.
I like to imagine Lincoln opening a paper. Like the paper gets delivered, his dog brings it up to him. Oh, good boy, Rufus, and he opens it up, and oh my God, Lee surrendered. I gotta get Grant on the telegraph right away. I should have braced the yards. I'm gonna go see a play.
Johnny, I'm gonna drink this whole bottle of champagne. It's fine.
Bad idea, but I support you.
It's fine. I'm only barely slurring at this point. No, like in the middle of the night, a whole bunch of people. In the middle of the night, a whole bunch of people are gonna get woken up because Chicago does a 100-gun salute to the end of the war. But like
what?
Nobody, but like people who have gone to sleep, they don't know it. So all they're hearing is 100 guns going off, and they're like, "Ah! The Confederates got a sneak attack on us."
Yeah, and then the gunshots never quieted down in New York. Since that day, they've just been going off 100 a night in celebration of the end of the Civil War. 160 years from now, there's still 100 shots a night.
Johnny, the Mobile, Alabama campaign also on the 9th is basically over as Old Spanish Fort is now in Union hands. On the 10th,
Alabama.
Well, Mobile, but yes.
Well.
Not where Forrest lives.
Little Rock's a fine town.
Little Rock is a fine town. Anyways, on the 10th, there's the actual operation of parole. You know, like we have to go through the whole process. So we're feeding the rebels. We're having them sign their paperwork. We're getting all the documentation. Everybody's got to like fill out their names on rolls and all that shit.
God, that paperwork involved.
The paperwork. Yeah, that's
wonder they've been putting this off so long.
That's where jackasses like this. That's what I have to do, Johnny. It's just fucking paperwork. Yep. God damn it! Do you know how many pieces of paper I had to fill out for this singular, crappy, Spiller and Burr thing?
13.
13 is right. 13 pieces of paper for that stupid fucking...
It's actually not that many. It's actually a pretty cush job as far as the military goes. There are people eating grass in a ditch somewhere because they don't have any other food. They're making bark tea, and you're sitting here drinking a bottle of champagne with a white dish rag on your lap complaining because you have to fill out paperwork. You sack of shit.
That's fine. Grant is going to encourage on the 10th Lee that, like, hey, look, remember how you're the commander of all the Confederate forces? I want you to send a telegraph and say that we're done fighting. And then Lee goes, "Nah,
it's just all done."
Yeah, but then Lee goes, "No, man, that's not my authority." Like,
it is. Why is he so confused about what he's allowed to do?
Trader President Davis has to do that.
No, why is he so confused about what he's allowed to do?
I don't know.
He's allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
He's in charge of all the armies. He could literally say, Trader President Davis, you do not have to end this war, but none of my armies are fighting.
Yep. Well, I have surrendered, so thereby they have all surrendered. Yep.
And so you do what you want with that. You could raise a new army if you want. But
I can't command it. Because I've surrendered. Yep. On the 11th, Johnny, we're going to see the running Confederate government. That train, like the guys that ran, Trader President Davis, his family, all the cabinets, Congress, all them.
Yeah, they snuck out, right? And went. They're
going to arrive. Yeah, they're going to arrive in Greensboro, North Carolina, with a very cold response. They are pissed.
We don't really want you. Like,
we don't want our city burned. Can you leave? Yes, yeah, it's very cold.
Going to a coast. That's a bold move. Going to a coastal city that had been Shermaned.
Yeah, well, they haven't been Shermaned yet. Yeah, Greensboro hasn't been Shermaned yet, but yes.
No, but
they don't want to be Shermaned. Yeah, they've seen it. Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
Johnny, the remaining forts around Mobile, Alabama, have also been evacuated and surrendered on the 11th, with the evacuation order being given to the city of Mobile itself. Johnny, on the 12th, Mobile is handed over to the Union as the last major city of the Confederacy has now officially fallen. Not only do you not have
so it's over.
surrendered.
Okay, so you're right. You were right.
You have no major cities. Yeah, like you have got nothing left. You've got Johnson and like Stan Whitey or Waddy or whatever the fuck his name is. That's what you got. That's it. That's all.
So this is basically somebody who has the purple countries in Risk with 12 people on them, all spread through the 4. And their opponent has the rest of the board. It is getting 150 players per turn, but this person just keeps rolling well enough to stave them off. But the game's over. There's no way you're going to win this. You're not going to do anything about this.
No.
It's been inevitable for a while, but now it's like it's written in stone.
Yes. Yeah, we're done.
Print the banner, like mission accomplished.
Accomplished.
But actually
mission accomplished. Yes,
yeah.
But really.
Not 2001 mission accomplished, actually.
Yes,
You know? Like, we did it. We did the damn thing. It's over.
Johnny, for that Atlanta campaign, let me tell you how.
I'm excited. I can move on from this. I am going to
find some gold, actually, in Indiana.
I'm going to turn to the arts, actually. I'm going to start painting, maybe, or writing. I don't know.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, well, you've got your monk outfit on. Maybe start writing a new religion.
I could come up with a good religion. You could
come up with a good religion, yeah. There you go. Have at it. Johnny, the Mobile,
anybody
Alabama.
looking for a new religion, somebody to follow, I'll shoot you some ideas if you're interested. Just let me know.
Johnny,
I will require money.
Alabama campaign, to tell you how like not lackluster, that's not the right word, like how cautious we are with our troops, and like how like lopsided this is, and how over it already is.
How maybe we don't want to continue killing people when it's not necessary?
Yeah, in this entire campaign to take Mobile, Alabama, we lost only 1,578 total casualties. It's not dead, that's the
casualties,
wounded, sick. Yeah. And it has zero impact. But the sad thing is it has zero impact on the war at all at this point because the war.
Well, of course, no, and that's what's going to suck. What's going to suck is
if you're the mom.
This is
going to
continue.
Yeah,
we're not done.
No,
but every single death
at this point
from this
should
point
be treated as murder. Yeah,
is useless. There's no whatever value you could assign to it before this, as far as war goes, you can say they died for a purpose. They were fighting a war.
There's no purpose
from this point forward. Every single death is useless
on either side. Yeah,
both sides, everything. Every single death from here on out is not necessary. And like you said, murder.
Trader President Davis on the 12th is going to meet with Beauregard and Johnson, with both generals saying there is no way that Johnson can resist Sherman or the Union Army, and that they need to negotiate now. And Trader President Davis says no. Trader President Davis says they only want us to surrender, and that's not acceptable. We have to be a country.
So this very, very brave man refusing to surrender after they tracked him down when he fled to be safer. He is now saying, no, we're not going to surrender because we're going to be very brave and we're going to win this war in some form or fashion. But I'm going to keep running and hiding.
Keep his bravery about running and hiding in your head, Johnny, because that's going to come back eventually. Johnny, this eventful, long-awaited week. Lucky number 13th. This is going to end on the lucky number 13th with Sherman entering Raleigh, North Carolina, on his way to the temporary Confederate capital of Greensboro. And on the very, very final note, this tells you how over this is. Stanton, Secretary of War Stanton, or Secretary of State, War, one of those two.
I don't know.
Stanton, he's going to order that the draft be halted. He's going to order cessation of purchasing any military equipment. And he is going to begin demobilizing the Army. This war has finally come to an end. Thank you for holding in with us on this very, very long, I'm going to look at this, almost hour-long video.
A lot of
we
that,
had talking at the beginning. Yeah, but it's 40
minutes.
40 minute long.
It's a 30 long one. Normally
very
these are 10 to 12.
Very long Civil War in hindsight, but it was much awaited.
Important.
It was much deserved. The most importantest one, Robert E. Lee, and all of his glorious bestiality, traveler-loving horse thing, has finally surrendered. We can be done with this war, but don't worry, it's not quite over yet. Week-to-week coverage is still coming up, at least through the next couple of months while we're wrapping things up, Johnny. It's important. And then we will switch over to the Reconstruction and discussing how that goes. It will not be Reconstruction, bringing the country back together.
No.
It won't.
You don't think I could write Lincoln a letter and convince him to, like, not reconstruct?
Well, maybe. You try that, Johnny. Go ahead. You know what? I'll tell you what. Write him a letter and make sure you get it in the post like ASAP.
I will. Yeah. No. I don't know. I'll get to it next week. It's fine. I got time. Like, apparently this is going to drag on for a while.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We'll cover it week to week up to a certain point, but probably by mid to late year this year, like fallish time frame, it'll probably get kicked over to more like monthly or bi-weekly coverage of Reconstruction, and then we'll just do occasional updates because obviously Reconstruction continues for the next 20, 30 years. We will be doing the Spanish-American War starting next year, but you have to wait for next year for that. And if I can convince Johnny to stick with it another couple of years after that, we might even talk about the Philippine-American War. And these are wars that are not pleasant.
How long do you think I'm going to be alive, Lieutenant
I don't know, man. As long as we also we will, I promise you, now that the Civil War is wrapping up, we are going to get back to more regular other history-related content that is not president,
our
Civil
normal
War,
nonsense that this channel started
which we haven't done in like months.
Well, but to be fair, this is Civil War in Hindsight, which is a subset of Historic Hindsight, which is now a production company that also produces Weird Uncle's Garage. Locate him on TikTok if you're into.
Well, not TikTok. He's not on TikTok yet. He's not on TikTok.
YouTube. You're into
I'll put him on Tickety Talkers. Why not?
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Weird Uncle's Garage.
It's just started.
It's very niche. Very niche. It's going to be
old weird shit.
All the stupid shit that Tommy has. All this stupid old electronics that nobody cares about. Only him and whatever other autistic folks are out there with the same special interest. Welcome to the channel. I know you're still here, still watching.
It was really hurtful when I watched the TikTok.
Literally not a single neurotypical person is still watching this episode. If you are not aware that you do have a touch, at least, of the autism, I'm a little bit sorry to be the first one to inform you, but consider this a moment of growth. Yeah,
because I had another one of those reminders when it's like a TikTok that I sent it to you, Johnny, where it's like, just mention P-51 Mustang 3 times in a row and an autistic man's going to come. And I'm like, fuck, that's my favorite plane. Yeah. God damn it. Anyways, that's our stuff. We got shorts. We got all that kind of stuff. Check us out. There's a Patreon. Nobody's on it, but I do stuff up there.
It's fun though. It is fun.
I do actually.
There's good content on there. If you just like our banter and if you like us, like for whatever reason,
we're on there.
Join the Patreon. It's super fun. Legit, it's super fun.
I've got 2 restoration projects I'm working on right now with firearms.
Oh, and he shows his guns and he shows old shit.
Behind the scenes, there's gonna be some of that stuff.
On there. What's the thing you got up there? The PDF.
One of the PDFs I have is my grandfather's armorer's book, which was World War II.
If you're younger, forget about it. Don't bother. It's written in cursive and poorly.
Only the first 10 pages are cursive. It does transition over to print.
Yeah, I lost
interest. Which gets a little bit easier.
So
it does get a little easier after that. But it's my grandpa's armorer's book when he was going through armorer school,
which is pretty
prior to him going over into North. It actually is really cool. There's his tests are in there. It's really I can't I know it's autism nerdiness, but there are like tests
it's very cool.
that he got. Yeah. There are like
I'm not even that type of autistic, and it's kind of
actually
neat
it's neat. There is also I've got the entirety of the handgun, like the bullet trials for the handguns that we were talking about, like what we wanted to do. We shot cows. We just went to a fucking cow like farm and just started shooting fucking cows and seeing how many bullets it took to kill them.
Yeah, to be fair, one of the worst things I ever did as a child was shoot cows with BB guns.
That's what they were doing.
Because we had cows
guns.
in our ravine behind our house, and like I don't know, twice maybe we went and we would shoot them with BB guns because they would make them kick their feet up and they'd run a little bit. And probably it didn't hurt them. They were like the pump. It was not like it was not pellet. They were, I'm guessing
it's like a bee sting.
Yes, likely for them, but
I don't know, Johnny.
An asshole.
How was that bee sting to you?
It hurt. It broke my skin. I bled.
You did bleed a little bit.
Tommy shot me with a gun once.
A BB gun in his butt.
BB gun.
Lots of alcohol was involved.
It was below my butt. It was my thigh, upper thigh.
Yeah.
If I was wearing boy shorts, it would have been underneath it. You know what I mean?
Now, to be fair, to clarify, before you feel sorry for Johnny, Johnny has broken 2 of my ribs and given me at least 1 concussion, probably 2. It happens. This is what you get on the Patreon. This is a
Patreon.
This is Patreon. All right.
Which, by the way, end this so we can just keep talking.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. Check us out.